Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. The crisis in Gaza continues. Although there's still some killing and bombing going on, it looks like Netanyahu is withdrawing the troops from Gaza and moving back. He said that this is a tactical shift. But the bombing will continue because they still have to, fight the enemy. Right now, you wonder, is it over with? Will the violence end? And what does this mean? There's really a question on whether this isn't just more a response to the PR, because most of the time, and even today, there's a lot of very positive reporting that benefits Israel, but we have to say that it's not all that way, because we look on TV and we see a lot of pictures and a lot of suffering, and we know about a lot of children being killed and even people in UN schools. And it's not just a few. There have been over 60 Israeli soldiers killed, and of the 60-some people killed on the Israeli side, 3 of them were civilians. But there are over 1,800 Palestinians killed. 80% of them are civilians, and includes 400 children. So that's not good PR, and sometimes the public pressure is going to be the only battle that's being fought. Because, if it's a real war of militarism, of going in and suppressing somebody, the Palestinians have no weapons. They have guns, and they say, well, they have rockets, and they've been shooting hundreds, if not thousands, of rockets into Israel. But nobody shows any damage, and nobody shows any deaths in Israel from those rockets, maybe a couple. But this skirmish evidently was started by the rockets being released from Gaza, and the Israeli responding, and all in the saying has been constantly, steadily in the media, Israel has a right to defend herself. And of course, I agree with this absolutely. And Netanyahu says, don't second guess me, because don't push a peace treaty on me, because I'm going to defend this country. And I think Israel absolutely has a right to do this. But never once have I heard on TV, it might have been said, but I haven't heard it yet, that the Palestinians have a right to defend themselves, because they must feel oppressed. They can't go anywhere. They can't go back and forth to Israel. They can't go into Egypt. So they feel, pretty well trapped too. But everybody says that this entrapment they have gives them a right to defend themselves from being imprisoned in this particular area. So the propaganda really ends up maybe being the biggest tool in the perceptions. Why should the United States be interested in that? Because, it's not our fight. But we're very much involved, and we have some responsibility, because we do send money to the Palestinians, not very much, but we send a lot of money to Israel. We've sent over $100 billion to Israel, and the weaponry and their technology, is dependent on the United States. Even with this fight going on now, Israel thought they needed to upgrade, their anti-missile defense. So there were several $100 million immediately, emergency-wise, granted to Israel to do this. So our money is involved, and so therefore we have a moral responsibility on what happens, and innocent people die. Indirectly, we have some responsibility for this. During this particular uprising that's going on, 10,000 homes were destroyed of the Palestinians. So this is not a simple war. Utilities have been disrupted. It is such a mess. And somebody who is eager to have peace and tranquility and prosperity, this is heartbreaking of what's happening. And it just seems like there's no end in sight. When there is overwhelming force on one side versus the other, and there's no expectation that there will be a total victory, all the militarism, all the killing seems to be for naught. But it increases the anger, and that is the problem. I was, in a way, pretty surprised what happened just recently in Austin, Texas, that thousands of people came out in support of the Palestinian. But there was another rally with thousands supporting Israel in Houston. But I was surprised, really, that some people came out in support of the Palestinians. I'd like to think that I'd like to go out and support the American taxpayer and the American position of non-intervention in staying out of these conflicts, which seems to be made worse once we get involved because we inevitably pick sides and give money. And even when we give money to the good guys, like the rebels in Syria, it ends up in the hands of the bad guys, and ISIS gets our weapons. So there's no logical benefit for us to continue to do this. One encouraging statistic that I've seen is that if you look at the age groups of who might support a more peaceful, balanced approach to this fight between Israel and Palestine, are the millennials, the young people. They're looking at this differently. They're just tired of looking at this and paying for it with our conditions. So they're statistically now much more in favor and coming in the direction of what I talk about, and that is non-intervention. I've certainly had a lot of support from young people and a lot of military people that are young people who've gone in the military and they've been overseas, they've been to Afghanistan, and they see the folly of our policy. We are witnessing something. We are participants. I'd like to not be a participant. You can have a moral opinion about who's doing what. You can say, well, I'm 100% with Israel. And if you happen to not like the position of that, you can say, I'm 100% rooting for the Palestinians. Matter of fact, if we lived in a free society, you would have your choice and you'd be able to participate. Since we're not in a declared war with either side, if you're a Palestinian American or you support the Palestinian, you should be allowed to go over there and help them. You should be able to send your money over there to help them. I mean, we already permit people to go to Israel and they join the Israeli army and we send the money over there. But I want it to be voluntary. Why should you be able to tax a Palestinian American to send money to build weapons for Israel? So it raises these questions that just makes people very, very upset. And they always argue that we're over here protecting freedom and the Constitution when we get involved militarily. Our greatest threat is right here at home. So yes, we have to worry about the bad guys and we have to worry about those terrorists that might attack us, and we have to be prepared. But we also have to recognize that the most serious attacks on our liberties, the most serious undermining of our Constitution and the weakening of our economy comes from our own people here, mainly those who have been sent to Washington to protect and take care of us, and they end up making a mess of things. So our liberties have been undermined not by an invasion and not by any Arab militants. It's been undermined by presidential orders and the NSA spying on us and people who believe in assassinating American citizens. And I'm sure this subject will be in the news for a long time. Even if it winds down, which we hope it does, at least temporarily, it'll be back again. There's no signs that there will be any reconciliation with these two groups, but I do not believe our involvement in this squabble over there is helpful in bringing about peace. I want to thank you for tuning in today, and come back soon to the Ron Paul channel.